Welcome to Stan's 360 Travel, part of Stan's 360 World. I'm your host, Stan Hariza. Today I am in San Jose, California, in Alum Rock Park. Now, Alum Rock Park is a very special park to me. It's one of my favorite parks in San Jose. Some people have referred to it as Little Yosemite, and I can definitely see that. It is definitely smaller and definitely has some Yosemite-esque qualities. One of the nice things about Alum Rock Park is the Penitencia Creek that flows right under me right now. And it has carved this valley through the years. There has been some evidence of the Ohlone Indians using this valley, and some of the earliest records of this valley date back to 1777 when the Spaniards were here setting up pueblos and presidios and missions, and this was designated part of the pueblos. Then in 1872, the California State Legislature designated this a state park, and then steps were taken to make this park more accessible. Initially, there were just a trail to the park, horses could come up here, that kind of thing. Later, they put in a electric, well, first it was a coal and steam train system, and then they converted it later to electric, and then eventually they did build roads up to the park here. This park has gone through quite a bit of development. At times it was almost brought the park to the point of extinction. Sometimes there were as many as 10,000 people in this park on a Sunday. It still gets very busy on Sundays, but nowhere near that, fortunately. Some of the nice things, one of the ones that I've brought you to here, is there are actually springs in the park. Some of these springs are open still, and this is an example here of one of the sulfur springs. There actually is another one up the walkway there and behind me as well. Now, standing here, there's a very strong smell of rotten eggs. And so, kind of lucky you're watching this on video. But some people would come up here, and some still do, and use this water for medicinal purposes. And they would bathe in this water. Some of the waters, one of the springs actually would come out at 98 degrees. It was very warm. And one of the springs actually would put out arsenic, so they've capped that one off. So it's safe now. But this is one of the sulfur springs that comes into the park. The park has a lot of great hiking trails. And I love this park because there's almost two different parks. Now, I'm here in a very wet year. It's an El Nino year here. And so the sides that you're seeing are very lush and green, which this isn't their standard fare for them. Usually the north side of the valley, which is to my left, your right, or maybe even behind me, behind you, that side of the valley is usually very dry. And the grasses tend to dry out very quickly during the summer, and so that side of the valley turns brown and gray very quickly. This side of the valley here, as you can see, there's a lot of trees that line this side, and all of the trees create a lot of shade, and they stay very green throughout the year. And so this side of the valley, you have this very nicely covered, usually very green hiking trails, and then you could cross over to the other side and it's very warm and dry. There are water fountains in a few places in the park, but I would definitely always recommend bringing water with you. This is a big park. These trails go up and back quite a ways. The trail here that I'm on snakes around, I would say maybe about another half mile up into the woods, and one of my favorite things to do would be to bike up to the end of the trail, rest for a little bit, and then ride downhill through here. There's also a youth center, there's some swings, picnic tables, there's restroom facilities through the park that are open at different times, so don't always guarantee on a restroom being open in the park. But there's a lot to see and do in the park here, and so I would definitely recommend, if you're in the area, come visit Alum Rock Park. There is a $6 parking fee. If you come during the week, like I have, you'll want to pull into the park, go to your parking location, and then there's a pay station. During the weekends, they have a person at the front gate that takes the toll. There is some free parking outside of the park, right by the main gate, but that does fill up very quickly. And it's just a wonderful park to visit. So I hope that you have a chance to come out and explore Alum Rock Park. If you don't, I hope you like this little slice of it. There's a lot to see in this park, as I said. And there's a lot of wildlife that's come back, and there's always some wildlife to see. There's always flowers, and it's just a wonderful park to be in. I hope you enjoyed this little slice of Alum Rock Park. If you have any other suggestions of other locations that you'd like me to visit, go ahead and mention it in my comments, and I'll see what I can do to make that happen. Thanks so much. Stan, saying goodbye and telling you, keep exploring your world. There's a lot out there to see. Take care.